I am so excited for this video. Okay, I have spent literally the last week trying to decide, and I've been juggling around different ideas and what I wanted to do, what I wanted to talk about, and I finally landed on the 1920s slang. Oh my God. Okay, I love history. I'm a big history nerd. Okay, I love um obviously learning. I love learning about history, and one of my favorite time periods is the 1920s. Okay? I don't know what it is about like the roaring 20s, and literally so many things happened in the 1920s. It is wild. Okay? When I say 1920s, first things you're probably going to think of are like the roaring 20s. Okay, you've got like flappers, you've got, oh my God, the jazz age. Prohibition was going on from 1920 until 1933. So you've got like, the rum runners and the moonshiners and all the gangsters and the mob bosses and, you know, craziness. But I'm not going to talk about any of those things. I'm going to talk about 1920s slang, okay? And crazy enough, some of these terms we actually still use, okay? Also, I talk with my hands. If that bothers you, you're just going to have to deal with it. Click off and go watch another video, or just stick around and deal with it because I'm very animated. I talk with my hands. Okay. It's also like almost midnight when I'm filming this. And so I'm kind of like trying to be quiet and not like wake up the whole house. But this is like the only time I can really film is like at night. Okay. So anyways, on to my list. Listen, the list I found was like 20 pages, okay? So I've only got, I don't know how many this is. I'm not about to count, but it's my favorite ones from the letters A and B. And yes, I know it's 2 letters, but here's the thing. There's only one word for letter A, and like all the rest are the letter B. Okay, that's what I'm working with. Okay, so let's get started. Listen, we're off to a great start. Okay, the first slang term is ankle. Okay, you don't know what it means? As a noun, an ankle is a woman. And as a verb, ankle means to talk. So, not starting off great. I don't know how I feel about being called an ankle, but let's keep going. Okay, the next one, I was like, listen, we're like 3 words into this list and I'm already losing my shit, okay? The next one is the phrase, be on the nut, or to be on the nut, which means to be broke. And I need to know the history of where this came from, because my tainted brain in 2025, you say anything on the nut and my brain immediately goes into the gutter. So apparently to be on the nut is to be broke. So yeah, man, I can't believe I'm on the nut again. Like, oh, I'm on the nut. I'm so broke. Like, how can you put that into a sentence today where it doesn't sound dirty? Maybe you just have to be like really innocent and, kind of closeted, which is not me. My brain lives in the gutter. So on to the next one. This next word, we still use this. To have beef with somebody? Yeah, that came from the 1920s. To have beef is to have a problem. We still use it. The bee's knees, we still use that one. An extraordinary person, place, thing, or idea. Or to be the ultimate. You the bee's knees, you're like the goat. What we would call the goat today, back then they would call the bee's knees. I think that's a fair comparison. It's still technically in the animal kingdom, a goat and the bee's knees, you know? So that's kind of fun. This next one, berries. Get your berries, get your dollars. Or to just be something attractive. Like, man, look at those juicy berries. No, I don't think they would say juicy berries. Maybe they would. Look at those mouth-watering berries. No, it still doesn't sound good because I either one think of like berries and cherries, which I don't know if anybody else says that for like uh the police lights. Berries and cherries. Anybody else? Is that just me? Or it's like for your balls if you're a dude. So that's where what are these? Like, I want to take my brain and just implant into somebody in the 1920s just for like a day, just so I could get the full like 1920s, go to a speakeasy, listen to some jazz, like as it's like emerging jazz, like, oh. Anyways, the next one, the big cheese. I've heard of that one before. That's the boss. That's like the boss man, the big cheese. Yeah. Or an important person. But ripping the big cheese, I think means something different. I don't think ripping the big cheese would mean like, the boss man. Next one. We all have heard this one, right? The big house. The big house? Yeah, that means jail. You've heard of the big house, right? That's jail. And the big sleep? The big sleep? Yeah, that's death. I've heard that one too. The big house and the big sleep. Okay, next one. I'm going to say it and then I have something to say. Okay, this next one is a bird. A bird is a man. Okay, men are birds and women are ankles. What is going on? Is it because like, no, okay, so I was gonna say, is it because like in the 1920s, it became more like common for you to see women's ankles, which I guess makes sense because of flappers, but like, it just makes me think of like men are birds because they just like to fly around and they're free to move about the cabin. But an ankle, you're stuck where you're at. You are connected to something else. And the only way to detach it and to get rid of it is if something crazy happens. You got to cut that away. And that's just how my brain works. That's probably not what that was supposed to mean, but that's what I think of it as. So men are birds and women are ankles. I don't know how I feel about it, but we can move on. Also, you can probably hear my cat that I have raised since he was about a month old, so I get it. I'm basically his mom, but this cat is so stuck up my ass. It's so annoying sometimes. I love him so much. I raised him from a little babe, but now he's annoying. He's attached to my hip, and I can't get a moment of peace from that fucking cat, okay? Anyways, back to my 1920s slang. That's why we're here. Not to hear me bitch about my cat that has separation anxiety. Okay. Also, I just want to say there are so many words to describe somebody. Like, how many words do you need to describe killing somebody? Like, how many different words do you need? And honestly, they're not even that different. Some of them are just like, oh, I see what you did there. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Okay, so the first one is blip off. And that one, I'm like, to blip somebody off, it's like blip, blip. That's a fun one to blip off. Okay. And so then we got blow this place, blow this joint. That means to leave. If you ever heard somebody say blow this popsicle stand, that means to leave. Blow. Okay. But to blow one down, that means to, okay. A blower is a telephone. Hi, yes, I'm a millennial. This is how I do the phone. A blower is a phone. That's not what I think of when I hear the word blower. I don't think of a telephone. The next one is bop. Bop somebody. You can guess what that means. Okay. Bracelets, handcuffs. I've heard that one. Okay. This one, somebody's got some splaining to do, okay? To have the bulge means to have the advantage. You got the bulge, you got the advantage. You're bulging over there. Quit rubbing your bulge in my face. We get it. Your bulge is so huge. Quit rubbing it in our faces. Can you imagine? Okay. Again, here we go again. To bump off somebody. To bump somebody means to kill them. Okay. Bump off. I just said that. To kill. A button man is a police officer. No, sorry. Scratch that. A button man is a professional killer, but buttons are police officers. I wouldn't say police officers are professional killers, but I would say that they are experienced in it. So does that kind of count? Maybe? Anyways, end of list. There you have it. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20. How did I do that? I didn't even count, and it was a nice, even 20. I love it. Anyways, there's you some 1920s slang that you can just sprinkle into your conversations. I'm going to try it, and I'm going to come back with more words to add to your vocabulary, to sprinkle into your conversations. And they're going to be like, whoa, where'd you hear that crazy word? And you're going to be like, from OK Miller, duh. I'm learning 1920s slang. Hello, where have you been? It's technically the 1920s. It's technically the 20s again. It's not the 1920s, but it's the 2020s. So we can bring these words back, right? We can bring these words back. Yeah? Who's with me? Let's bring 20s, 1920s, but 20s slang back today. Let's do it. Let's confuse the fuck out of people and just sprinkle these words into our conversations so that we can just freak everybody out. Be like, it's the roaring 20s, baby. It's actually not, but did you enjoy that? Did you enjoy this video? Did you enjoy it? Did you really? I need to learn how to look at the camera. It's right there. And they keep just staring at me. I mean, look at me. I'm so cute. Why wouldn't you want to stare at me all day? But that makes the video weird. So anyways, if you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. Maybe leave a comment. Share it with your friends and family so they can learn 1920s slang with you. And let me know what your favorite slang word was from this video. I might include a list and the definitions in the description so you can just pop in, you know, man, she said that one word and it meant this one thing, but I don't remember. And so you can just go to the description and look, and it's like, oh yeah, that word, it means this thing. Yeah. I should end the video now. Maybe I will.